Tim Pierce. I figured it was high time for me to do a totally clean guitar part. Maybe a first, I don't know. Anyway, this is about call and response rhythm guitar playing, and it works great because you do a familiar phrase that's composed, and then you do a improvised phrase that's dangerous right after. You keep going back and forth. I think it's a great way to approach rhythm guitar. That solo was just for fun. What we're really gonna do here is look at the psychology of how we choose certain guitar parts and why we choose them. And they're very instinctive, they're very second nature. But if you go back and examine them, there's really quite a method to the madness. Click the link below if you want to check out the online masterclass. There are 7 major categories, and one of them is rhythm guitar. There's a 14-day free trial, so you can check it out and see if it's right for you. First, let's talk about the gear really quick. It's my Anderson Strat. I'm using the out-of-phase position with these 2 pickups. They're noise canceling, but they sound very vintagey. He makes them, and they're really good at an old sound, but a quiet sound also. I'm going through the distressor as a compressor. You could use a pedal compressor just as well. What this does is it takes this totally clean sound, kind of squishes it and makes it fatter. So this could sound pretty plinky without a compressor. A pedal compressor, as I said, will work fine. I just happen to have this guy sitting there, and I press the button, it's bypassed, I press the button, it's on. It's very convenient. Let's talk about the composition. It's C# sus, and then C# sus over A. That second chord is very kind of mysterious sounding. It's really A major 7 with a 6, and it's a really cool chord. But the thing about this that I love is changing the bass notes under a static chord. You get pretty infinite possibilities, and this is a pretty simple version of that because I'm just changing it once. Let me show you what happens when I change it a lot. Wow, I think I like that better than the original version. So take a static chord, put it in your looper or your DAW, and play some parts underneath, have them travel around, you'll have an instant song. So this riff starts, the call riff, the first riff, with this. It's the C# sus tonality. This. And then I come down to C# minor pentatonic and play that. And I'm striking pretty hard and muting. And then I tie it off with another piece that's meant to make the phrase unresolved. That's on purpose. I do that. So the whole thing. And I mute it pretty hard, but as I keep repeating it, I change the muting, and sometimes I open it up. Sometimes I may open up certain parts of it, and that's how you keep it fresh. If I play this riff 4 times in the piece, they're all slightly different. The pocket is always slightly different, and that's okay. And sometimes they're played more open and sometimes more muted. Now I move to the first improvised lick, the response lick. I go up. I see C# right here. And I do this, barring. They're double stops, fourths. And very important to this particular figure is muting, because I don't want to hear any extraneous noises. The way I do that, the flesh from these fingers is always gently laying on the strings, even though I'm not fretting them. That's really important right here. One thing I want to talk about also is that I'm always leaving space to recover and start each riff. So if I go, I leave a space in front of it and a space after it so that my hand has a comfortable amount of time to go from the primary riff to the exploratory riff and then back. Check it out. So those spaces are musical, but they also give your hand time to move around. It's a win-win. So now I move to riff number 4, and since we're in the call and response mode, the second riff I went high, the fourth riff I go low. So we have home riff, high riff, home riff, low riff. Makes sense, right? So this riff, pure C# minor. I start in the home position, and then I come up with my index finger here. I do that a lot. And I do pure pentatonic muted, but at the end, I goose this bend as much as I can. And this riff is right up to the edge of the bar. The reason I can get away with it is because I'm in a position where I can restart the home riff without moving my hand at all. You see that? So I didn't have to leave a space. It's right up to the edge. So if you can think ahead a little bit and your hand is in the right place, you don't have to leave that space. And that's a fresh thing too. So in one instance, you're leaving a space, and in another instance, you're playing right up to the edge and the riffs are joined. So now the next home riff speaks slightly differently. They all do. And then I do something I've honestly never done before. And I searched for this and I had to practice it. I do leave space because I have to get up here on the neck. And I really try hard to make the opening speak with a rake, right? I try and drag that out. Now I play riff number 4 again, and there's a slight variation. I play a double stop that I didn't play before. It's there. Instead of going, I go. And it kind of flams a little bit so you can kind of hear the 2 notes. Reminds me of Nile Rodgers a bit. Happens really quick. Then on to the last riff. This last riff is meant to be the opposite of this guy. So that's real pretty and it's up high. The next thing is very Hendrixy and down low and very rhythmic. Pure Hendrix to me, and I'm strumming broadly. Clicking the strings a lot and clicking them hard. So I'm bending up here, punctuating the C sharp note. Then I move my hand down. And that's, to me, a very aggressive way to end this. I always love throwing in Hendrixisms, and this was a really good chance to do it, especially after doing the opposite way up here. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. If you are a subscriber, please ring the bell. It lets us let you know every time a new video is released. You can also support us by clicking the link below for the online masterclass. As I always say, we're up to over 100 hours of lessons and content, over 1,000 videos. There's a 14-day free trial. Take your time, take a long look. We'd love to have you join us.